Hi everyone, this is Hamad Hassan. What is React? React is a JavaScript library for building fast and interactive user interfaces. It was developed at Facebook in 2011 and currently it is the most popular JavaScript library for building user interfaces. As you can see on Google Trends, React is dominating the space of libraries and framework for building user interfaces. The other two players here are Angular and Vue. At the heart of all React applications are components. A component is essentially a piece of the user interface. So when we're building an application with React, we build a bunch of independent, isolated and reusable components and then compose them to build a complex user interface. Every React application has at least one component which we refer to as the root component. This component represents the internal application and contains the other child components. So every React application is essentially a tree of components. If we have worked with Angular 2 or higher, it should sound familiar. Here in an example, let's imagine we want to build an application like Twitter. We can split this page into components like navbar, profile, trends and newsfeed. Here's the representation of these components in a tree. So other than top, we have app and below we have navbar, profile, trends and newsfeed. Now, newsfeed includes several tweets components. Each tweet component can include a like component which we can reuse on the other pages or even in different applications. So as we can see, each component is a piece of UI. We can build these components in isolation and then put them together to build complex application. In terms of implementation, a component is typically implemented as a JavaScript class that has some state and rendered method. The state here is that data we want to display when the component is rendered, and the rendered method, as we can see, it is responsible for describing what the UI should look like. The output of this rendered method is a React element, which is a simple plain JavaScript object that's mapped to a DOM element. It is not a real DOM, it is just a plain JavaScript object that represents the DOM element in a memory. So React keeps a lightweight representation of DOM in a memory, which we refer to as virtual DOM. Unlike the browser or real DOM, this virtual DOM is cheap to create. When we change the state of component, we get new React element. React will then compare this element and his children with previous one. It's figure out that what is changed and then it will update a part of real DOM to keep it sync with virtual DOM. So that means when building an application with React, unlike vanilla JavaScript or jQuery, we no longer have to work with DOM API in browsers. In other words, we no longer have to write code in jQuery and implement the DOM or attached event handler to DOM elements. We simply change the state of our components and React will automatically update the DOM to match that state. That's exactly why this library is called React, because when state change, React essentially react to state change and update the DOM. Thank you so much.